Last year I wanted to make Christmas extra special, so I built this, the world's first magic elf door.
Open up.
Pull it open.
Open. We're going in the portal.
Right, so last year when I built the elf door, I didn't really have much experience with 3D printing or 3D designs. I'm keen to change what I can. A lot of it doesn't fit together, warped on the build plate and the overall design. So let's strip this down, give you guys a look at how the elf door actually works. The door's actually triggered with a light sensor. I'm keeping that design, I really like it. It's non-mechanical, it's really simple. There's not much that can go wrong with that. 7-inch screen, the Raspberry Pi attached to the back. 3 Model B, that's straight into the screen. That's what drove the Magic Elf door. When the door was opened, via the GPIO pins, the light sensor triggered a script, ran the magic, let's call it, just in case my kids are watching.
It's all because of the magic, baby. That's what it is.
So there's real potential here for good upgrades. This year we have a new Raspberry Pi, believe it or not, which is a Raspberry Pi Zero. You can see the size difference. To accompany that, we have a new screen. It's a much lower profile, so we can make the door a lot slimmer, better resolution. But one of the main reasons I did this for this little bad boy up here, which means that I can drive audio via the HDMI and have an audio out. Raspberry Pi does not have an audio out. Larger Pis, they do. I needed some form of audio solution. So my plan is tiny little laptop speaker, amplifier, hook all of this up to give us sound as one upgrade to the Magic Elf Door Mk2. So if you're really interested in this content, you want to see how the Mk2 Elf door comes out, follow along for this build. Right, so the plan is to hook up a new component minus the sound. I want to hook the new Pi up to the new screen to see if it works. So we'll remove the SD card and put it into the new Pi. It should boot up the old SD card. Right, that power supply's bollocks. Let's try this. Okay, that's the Pi booting up. Now, the only thing is, I programmed the Pi to not bring up any of the boot information. I need to do some work, get into this device. I messed up big time here.
I'm an idiot!
I hashed out the wrong line of code and inserted a new line which conflicted with another line already in the code. The Pi didn't boot up at this point and would not receive an IP address from the router, so I couldn't even get to it remotely. This presented a problem because I was accessing the Pi remotely, so I had to actually take the SD card out of the Pi, put it into my computer and browse the files manually to correct the issue. All I'm doing in here is enabling the splash screen again and forcing the HDMI output for the new screen. Fingers crossed that this works. Yes, come on!
A great success!
Nice. I turned the black screen off so that we could see the boot config. Obviously this is upside down, I need to get a longer power lead. Actually I need to power it from the Pi, but we should, the fact that we're seeing command line text is great. So this is working, so we can move on and set this up properly. So for the Elf door, we have a small speaker, we have a small amplifier. So what we have, inputs, power, left and right speakers. Some power leads please. So Tinder wires, they are coated in I think it's an acrylic based substance. They're different colors. That's to stop the wires shorting against each other. It is a bit of a pain to solder these, but what you have to do is heat them up really hot. Soldering iron does go up to 450 degrees, so I was able to melt that coating off. You need to do is identify which wire is which using a multimeter. So the first pin on the jack is the left audio. There we go. So left audio is green. Right audio is red. Next one is ground. Oh, there we go. So the copper one is ground. That means the last one is this one, which is blue, and that's for the microphone. But as we don't need the microphone, we can get rid of that. Right, so that is the amplifier, speaker hooked up, power, and an audio jack lead. So it's time to give this a little whirl. So I have a bit of an issue. I am seeing voltage on the audio jack cable on all lines. 5 volts DC, 5 volts DC. So that's left, right, and ground. I'm getting 5 volts DC.
Are you sure?
Which shouldn't be happening on any of those. So either that little circuit's not feeling very well or something else is going on.
No, I don't think so.
So yeah, look, I got 5 volts coming out of these. Whoa, that made me jump.
Are you okay?
No. I will try and spare one.
One eternity later.
So sometimes we mess things up. And in this case, you might have seen, if you knew what you were talking about on this multimeter, that I accidentally had it set still on analog voltage.
What? What an idiot!
This is a DC current, so it's only going to measure properly in DC. So now that I've switched it to DC, I can check across the circuit. We know that on the input from the Pi, we are going to get, we've got 5 volts there. There we go. On our input, we've got 5 volts, as you can see, DC. And then if we check the same across ground and right, we've got a tiny bit of voltage, which is normal, but it's, you know, it should be less than a volt. But we shouldn't really get too much there. Less than a volt, which is perfect. And then ground and ground should be 0. So actually there wasn't a short, that was just me and not setting up my multimeter to DC, which is a common mistake, and you've just got to watch out for it. Right, so to test this circuit, I've got an old phone which has an audio jack in it. So the only thing I could find with an actual audio jack in these days. So I'm going to stick this in. I want to play a video from YouTube. Woo!
How's your kid? He's good. He got into the Imperial College. He's going to major in thermal exhaust engineering.
That's
nice.
awesome.
The Galaxy...
Video, go. The screen fits perfectly well, but I've got a right angle connector here, and it doesn't fit.
What an idiot!
I'm going to have to take out a bit of this bottom to allow for this, and use a soldering iron and see if we can't melt a hole. Okay, so that seems to have done the trick.
Good. Good.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Huh? Oh yeah, we just have to give it a second, don't we?
Hey, who's peeking in my workshop? We're busy getting ready for Christmas, you know. You lot better be good. We're keeping an eye on you.
We are. That's Elvina. Yeah, it looks like her. Doesn't it?
We don't have Elvina here. That must be another. That might be Elvina's mom and Elvina's. Oh, wait, no. Are they brother and sister? I forgot.
Yeah, they are brother and sister.
24 sleeps to go.
Merry Christmas!